All right, let's take a look back at this day in history and the workers' strike that effectively killed the Professional Air Traffic Controllers Organization and really hobbled organized labor across U.S. industries for decades to come. It really all started to unfold when the traffic controllers and the Federal Aviation Administration began contract negotiations earlier that year, centered around higher pay, fewer work hours, and better retirement benefits. Now, the FAA did concede on pay increases, but wouldn't budge on a shorter work week. So on August 3rd, 1981, the union known as PATCO declared a strike. Now, unlike other strikes, this one was unique in that federal government employees, which includes air controllers, were legally prohibited from walking off the job. That didn't stop them, and it drew the immediate ire of President Ronald Reagan, who called the strike a peril to national safety and ordered all 13,000 union members back to work. Only 10% complied, leading a federal judge to find union leaders in contempt of court and pushing the Reagan administration to fire more than 11,000 controllers, and also prompting the Federal Labor Relations Authority on this day, October 22nd, 1981, to order the union dissolved.
We cannot compare labor management relations in the private sector with government. Government cannot close down the assembly line. It has to provide without interruption the protective services which are government's reason for being. But I must tell those who fail to report for duty this morning, they are in violation of the law, and if they do not report for work within 48 hours, they have forfeited their jobs and will be terminated.
And that really was the shot heard around the union world. It was the first federal union to ever be decertified, but not the last. The PATCO strike was a soul-crushing defeat that would hasten the demise of organized labor influence. Corporations saw what happened with PATCO. They watched what Ronald Reagan did, and they were emboldened to stand up as well. An Arizona copper mine strike in '83 dragged on for 3 years before most of the unions involved were decertified. Hormel in '86 broke the back of its striking workers with scabs, as did International Paper in '87, and on and on and on. Historian Joseph McCartan said that prior to PATCO, the idea of firing striking workers was almost unthinkable, even though it was legal. The ramifications, they were immediate. Prior to 1981, there were more than 300 major strikes or lockouts each year. By 1982, that number had dropped to less than 100. By 1990, less than 50. In 1991, U.S. Representative William Ford of Michigan said that after PATCO, the wholesale replacement of strikers had become epidemic. And Ron Taylor, who in 2001 served as president of the Reformed Air Traffic Organization, called PATCO's failure an American labor tragedy. Indeed, look no further than 2023, a summer of strikes that contributed to the most active year for labor disputes in more than 2 decades. Yet, the number of major labor actions that year totaled just 33, less than a tenth of the number we saw prior to PATCO in 1981.